Now we will begin by writing test cases for the first functionality that most testers begin writing test cases with, and also it is a functionality that most users begin their journey inside any application by using it, which is sign up. The sign up is very important. Why? Because if we have a functional bug inside the sign up, and we talked about functional testing, which tests what the system does, if we find any bug inside the sign up functionality, most of other functionalities will not work. I faced this scenario a lot as a user, not a tester. When I download an application, it is a very cool application, okay? I need to use it, I need to subscribe to this application or buy something from it if it is like an online payment application, and then I begin signing up, then signing up doesn't work. Or I already signed up but with old email, and now I want to restore my email and I find this functionality not working. The first action that I take after this is to remove this application. That's why sign up is considered as a very critical functionality inside any application. So let's begin by writing our test cases, and like I told you, begin to compare them with the test cases that you have already written. So here in our application, we have the functionality as a wireframe or a prototype. We have a screen that describes the sign up. In many projects, this screen is not written in this way. It might be written as like an SRS, requirements, okay, not an image, or in the case of user stories in agile projects, which we will talk about in future videos. So here we have two types of registration. We have admin and project owner. Then we have username, email, and password, Facebook and Google. Now we don't know who is the admin and who is the product owner or the project owner, but we know that these are two types of users, two different types of users. Each one of them has different privilege, okay? So let's begin by testing this functionality. So like we said, we have here our test suite, the sign up test suite. So what is the prerequisite? So like we said, the prerequisite or the precondition is something that should be done before this test case. So we can say 1, sign up page is already opened. So this is a precondition in all sign up pages or test cases. This will save time for me. How? Because I should in every test case write a step which is open the sign up page. No, I saved my effort and time and wrote it as a precondition. So this will not be the first step in any test case. So when we talk about writing test cases, we have two types of test cases. We have positive test cases and negative test cases. This is not related to passed test cases or failed test cases. This is different. Positive test cases means that we need to test something normal, a normal scenario that the user will do. On the other hand, negative test cases will test the invalid scenarios, okay? The scenarios that the user made a mistake or made a suspicious activity. So let me first drink my coffee and then we begin writing our first test case. So the first test case will be a very basic valid test case. This is the most simple test case and it is the most important test case that we have. So what should it be? We have two test cases. The first is a valid admin registration and a valid project owner registration. So let's begin by the admin. So the first test case, register using valid admin credentials. Okay, so what is the first step? The first step is to click on the admin button. Click on the admin. It is not a button, it's called radio button. This is a type of button and we will learn the names of these buttons during our course. So this button is called radio button. It is a button that appears as a circle, and this means that you must choose only one choice, admin or project owner. So if you click on admin, the project owner is not clicked. If you click on project owner or you select project owner, the admin will be not selected. So I will click on admin, then to enter a valid admin username, then enter a valid email, right? Then we will insert one below. We need another row, so I clicked insert one, and this is step 1.4. Then we have enter a valid password. Then we need another step, so insert one below, and we'll click on sign up. So click on sign up. Okay, these are the 5 steps and they are all ready to test. Okay, I need to mention something. If you need to save time also, you can do this. If you want to set the status of the whole test case as pass or fail, so you can remove this. I click on shift here, okay, on my keyboard, and remove this and all these, right click, then I click on merge. Yes, from here, merge cells. So what this means? This means that the whole test case is passed or failed or blocked or skipped. Both are correct. This scenario is used if you have a big project, you need to be very specific like this, or you need to save time. This is not a very big project, this is a small project, or you don't have a lot of time, you can make only one status for the whole test case, okay? So then also the expected result, you might have only one expected result for the whole test case or one expected result for each step. So if you write one expected result for the whole test case, you will say, okay, sign up is successful, right? This is the first thing, for example. Of course, in real projects, you must read the whole requirements in order to know this scenario. So for example, when I sign up, what will happen? Will he send me an email, okay, a verification email? What is the page that I will be redirected to? Is it the home page or the email verification page? So it depends on the project, but I will assume that user is redirected to home page, okay? And the third is an email with a verification email. A verification mail is sent to the user. So all of these are expected result for the last step, okay? What if I want to write an expected result for each step? This might be done in big projects, and also if you are someone who writes the test cases and another person will execute them. So you need to make sure that he tested everything correctly. So what is the expected result of the first step? Click on the admin radio button. So in this case, the expected result is the admin button is selected, okay? Okay, so enter a valid admin username. Here inside the username, we have something that's called a placeholder. What is a placeholder? This is the word that is written here, the word username. This is called a placeholder. The word email, this is called a placeholder. The word password, this is called a placeholder. In any application, when you click on this place, okay, or the username, or the password, or the email, the placeholder must be removed. It should be removed once you click or once you begin writing on the keyboard. This or this is correct, but it should not be kept. In many projects, you begin writing your username and you find your username is written on the placeholder. This is a bug, okay? This is a problem. We did not talk about how to write a defect report or a bug report, but this is considered as a bug if it happens. So here we can say the placeholder is removed and username is entered successfully. Okay, so this is the expected result. The same with the email, okay? The placeholder is removed and the email is entered successfully. And also in the password, we can say the placeholder is removed and password is entered successfully. Also, the password is encrypted. What is encrypted? If you write a password, it should appear as a stars like this or dots, you know, dots like this. You can also specify this for the person. So this is what I mean by encryption, okay? I mean that this, it should look like this, okay, or this. This is an example, I'm just assuming. So like this, okay. So this is our first test case. Remember, the actual result is not filled, okay? You can have a field that's called the actual result, or you can just write the status. So if it is passed, this means that the actual result is the expected result. If it is failed, that means that we have another actual result, and you can write it in the notes or in the bug report, okay? And if it is blocked or skipped, you can here, for example, say it is blocked because of X and Y. But all of this inside the execution step. We are still in the design step. I am saying this over and over, okay? I hope that it is not boring for you, but this is because it is a very common mistake that people make in our courses. Even in this course, in previous versions, when people wrote test cases and sent them to me, I found this problem like in 30 or 40% of the assignments that I did. That's why I keep saying it. Okay, so register using valid admin credentials. The next important test case is register using project owner credentials. So the cool thing is that you don't need to write a new test case. Most of the times we edit the test case and copy it to the new one. So like you see here, okay, the only difference is this is number 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, and the difference is valid project owner credentials. Then click on the project owner radio button, the project owner radio button here, project owner radio button is selected. Then enter a valid project owner username, okay, email, okay, make sure that everything is correct. This is the second test case. Of course, you will notice that it took less time. That's what happens in real life, okay? When you learn a course like this, most of people say writing test cases is very boring. It is not, okay? It is boring for the first time. But for example, if you go to a new project, okay, with a new team, you will not write the login or the registration test cases from scratch. You will just perform something that's called test case maintenance. What is test case maintenance? That means that you edit the test cases based on the new project, but the same test cases as long as this project is in the same scope of a project that you worked on before. The only challenge is when you have a new functionality. You didn't face it before. Here comes the challenge in writing test cases. So this is the second test case. Both are valid. So we can also sign up with Facebook and Google. These are valid scenarios. So we have here 3 register using valid Facebook user. Okay. And in the Facebook user, we have a difference. What is the difference? We have more than one type of Facebook users. So what are they? This is very important. Delete cells, shift up. Okay, so what is this? In Facebook, some people register using their phone number, and some people register using their email. So here, inside our project, if the user registers to Facebook using his email, in this case, we will just fetch his email and use it in the registration process and just ask him, and don't ask him for anything, just connect with Facebook and continue to the application. But if this user registered to Facebook using his phone number, he does not have an email attached to his Facebook account. In this case, we have a problem. Our main registration method in our project is the email, not the phone number. So in this case, we will ask him for his email. So in registration on Facebook, we have many scenarios. It is not just register with valid user. So here we can say register using a valid Facebook user, okay? So and we can say inside the parentheses who has an email, for example. So this user has an email. So click on Facebook icon, okay, and log in to Facebook. So this is when I redirected to Facebook, okay. So the step 1, click on Facebook icon, log in to Facebook. We can click here when redirected to it, okay. Then nothing else. I think, yes, this test case has only 2 steps. Okay, not all test cases contain like 10 steps or 5 steps. Some test cases might have only 1 step, okay? So we just have only one thing to test, and some test cases might have 20 steps. This is okay and this is okay. So here I will remove.
Where is this? Delete row? Yes, delete. So we deleted this first.
So only 2 steps in sign up with Facebook, okay? So here user is redirected to Facebook to continue to register using it, and here when I log in, then user is returned to the application. And also, like we said, user, we can take this. So here, this is Alt Enter. If I need to go to the next line, I click on Alt Enter. So sign up is successful and you are redirected to homepage. So this is the third test case. Of course, like we said before, we have something that's called static testing. In static testing, we can review the requirements, we can review the code, we can review the design, and we also can review the test cases. So a very important activity inside your company is to review the test cases that you have already wrote. Okay, after you finish writing them, take 5 minutes or 10 minutes to review what you have written. Okay, you might find some mistakes. Also, it would be better if you have a friend inside your team who reviews the test cases that you wrote, because he has a different point of view. So this is the third test case. Also, register using valid Facebook user, but who has a phone number. Okay, who has is not very clear, so we can say who registered to Facebook using a phone number. So this is more clear. Click on Facebook icon, okay, log into Facebook, okay, user is returned to the application, but sign up is not successful. No, user is asked about or to enter his email. Okay, it depends on our application. In other applications, the main registration method could be the phone number. In this case, in the phone number test case, he will not ask me for anything. Okay, he will just send me an OTP or a code so that I verify my phone number. And in the email, he will ask me to enter my phone number. So it is different from one application to the other. And in this test case, we will have another steps. So here, 3.3, enter a valid email also. Okay, then, okay, this is here, 3. Then 3.4, enter a valid password. So this is the step. Okay, so here, yes, valid email, the same placeholder is removed and the email is entered, and password the same here, and then insert one below, click on sign up. Okay, so when I click on sign up, in this case, the sign up is successful and you are redirected. And also we need to verify your email because we are not sure that this email is attached to this Facebook user. So this is test case number 4, not 3. That's why we said it is important to perform review on your test cases. Okay, so these are all valid test cases, 4 valid test cases for the registration. We can also have registration with Google or Gmail. So it is similar to Facebook. Okay, so here, insert, we can copy this, or it is more similar to the email, but okay. 5, register, here, wait, register using valid Gmail user. So this is registration with Gmail. Okay, and also in Gmail we have a trick. So the user might have already registered using a Gmail account, but using the email. So he wrote it inside the email field. Okay, and in another day, he clicks on Google and registered using the same mail. In this case, we should attach the 2 accounts to the same account. And in this case, he should be logged in to the old account with the same account, because in this case, the email is the same as Google. This is also a scenario that many developers forget. So here, register using valid Gmail. I will click on Gmail icon. Okay, so user is redirected to his Gmail accounts page. In Android, for example, you find your accounts and choose from. Okay, choose an account. We can say, so here, user is redirected to application, and we have registration is done successfully, okay, and user is redirected to home page. Okay, so in this case I will not send him a verification mail, okay, because he already has this account saved on his device. In some applications the developer might need a more security layer, he needs more security. In this case he also sends you a verification mail. So here this is the fourth test case. So what else? So let's, where we need to remove this, delete row, I'm deleting all the rows so that my document looks better. Okay, it is good that your document looks good because you will use it a lot. 5.1, 5.2. Okay, so these are 5 valid test cases. Okay, so for example, if this is a mobile app, we can have a test case for logging in or signing up in landscape mode. So we have portrait mode, landscape mode. But if this is a website, we don't need this. Okay, so these are the 5 valid test cases. We can stop here, and in the next video we can talk about the invalid scenarios. Okay, what are the scenarios that might cause the application to give me as a user a problem while I am signing up?